I'm Amanda Wall, and I'm the project leader for the Audio Video Research Group, also known as the AVRG, also known on occasion as the Average Group. It started out as a sort of self-deprecating name from ourselves, but we think it also points to one of our underlying beliefs, and that is this: video is for everyone. Video is something that we would like to be an average competency. It's for the average person. It is a literacy that can be taught. In the academy, audio and video composition are often held to be specialty skills, but outside the academy, they're becoming more and more every day. Elementary school students post videos from their parents' iPhones on YouTube. And our general focus has been to try to make video and audio accessible. Accessible as tools for interaction, accessible as modes of instruction. And this spring we held a workshop to that effect on introducing video into the classroom. Our argument there was that it doesn't have to be difficult, it doesn't have to rearrange your syllabus, and it doesn't have to take more than one class period if you don't want it to. Video is versatile, and many students already have the means to create high-quality videos in their pockets. They have iPhones. You can drag them outdoors with you. We had examples where students could take their iPhones outside and you could have them capture some images and then edit those images together to make an argument in different styles. So what's an argument that you can make about the UT campus from the point of view of an environmental activist or someone else? Andy and Hala and Sarah also put together some videos as examples of how you can use video in the literature classroom. Here we have that was Andy as Whitman performing a Whitman poem, and we have Hala as Lord Byron. And we wanted to ask, how could you recontextualize a poem? How does it change this poem when we have Lord Byron performing it with George Washington against a huge sky and with the UT Tower? What does that do? Another project that we took on this year was to make a video tutorial. And Patrick Schultz and Andrew Recknitz led this project. Our mandate was to create a tutorial that would serve as a model for future tutorials created by the lab, and I'm pretty excited about the direction that we took. We polled some faculty members, trying to ask them what would be useful to them. And one of the answers that we got that we really liked was a tutorial for how to use the Oxford English Dictionary. So Patrick and Andrew built a collaboration with Professor Brian Bremen. And you can see here, besides being really good at voiceover narration, Professor Bremen gave us really good examples from Hawthorne that he actually uses in his classroom to explain why close reading and using the OED are so important. So what happens in this tutorial is that Brian Bremen gives us an introduction to what the OED is and why you might need to use it. We have a screencast of how to find the OED, because a lot of students don't actually know how to do that, how to understand all of the information that they see, because it can be sort of overwhelming, and how to use that information for close reading. Another project that we took on this year was the Write video series, and this is a series of short video excerpts from longer interviews with writers. The Write series was not intended as a prescription for how to write or even good writing. It's a description of how writing actually happens in the world, a story about how writing happens across different kinds of writers and different kinds of writing. So we've got here Brad and Sarah Saylor King, who are literature grad students and also married to each other, and they talked about how they peer review with each other. Kiana Lopez is...
I came up with a new idea.
I'll let you listen for a second.
I'm excited about that part.
You learn how to write. For me, I felt like...
This is an undergraduate student.
It's magnification.
And a food blogger.
So I get to get close on the food.
And we've also got Todd, who is a freelance writer. So you can see we had a variety of writers who were writing in a lot of different settings. And you can see Write is not a traditionally pedagogical project. We didn't mean for these videos to be lessons in how to write. They're narratives that we hope inspire writers to tell their own stories. and to tell their own stories, if not to the world, then at least to themselves. Because we know from process-oriented composition strategies that self-reflection is key for understanding and changing your own writing process. So that's what we're hoping to inspire there. I've only shown you highlights of what we've done this year. We've also filmed the speaker series in its entirety, which was quite the undertaking. We used 3 different cameras. We had a separate audio station run by our own Will Burdett, and we took still photographs of the event. Many of the images that you're going to see on the stallion over here as we mill around afterwards were taken by members of the AVRG. It has been an amazing year. As I said, many members of this group, including me, did not come into the group with video experience. Some of us had never used video editing software before in our lives, and so we had to learn. We had to learn from each other, from the internet, from just jumping in there and making mistakes. The biggest difficulty we encountered was not actually learning Final Cut. And it was not actually videotaping ourselves. Our biggest problem was data management. And that was just another reminder that access to the tools of composition is an ongoing problem. And so our group has striven to overcome those kinds of access issues and to try to push closer and closer to our name, to average. Come see some of our videos later in the, literally it's called the saddle. Come see us in the saddle. On a personal note, this is my last year in the lab. It's been an amazing 2 years, an astounding 2 years. Thank you for everything that you have taught me. Thank you.